Alright, man. I'm here with Jose. You already know, Vpiper Vrose in the building. Bro, I was super interested to have this conversation with you, specifically because as an artist, and I know a lot of artists, like my brother's an artist, my best friend is an artist, and what it always feel like when I'm anywhere or surrounded by anybody, like my mind is just way different. Like we think differently. Like we don't want to be boxed in. We don't want to be in a. We feel like whenever there's rules, it's like putting us in a square. And I felt like being an artist and mental health goes right on hand. And I started like just looking into artists that are like Old Dirty Bastard and people that are on top right now, like NBA YoungBoy. Do you feel like that's what's playing a role right now in mental health? Like, for example, 13-year-olds be willing to do whatever now because they saw how the other people made it and what they had to do. Do you think that has to do with that, or that's just us being human trying to survive?
I think it's a combination of of both things. I feel like it's lack of guidance, but it's also like just people being influenced with it. So it's not thinking about the consequences or thinking about what may happen if you do certain things.
Can you say it a little louder, please?
Yeah, I think that it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
It's lack of guidance to the youth, and it's also kids are gonna be kids also. Like think about when you were 13, like the kind of risks you took, kind of chances you took, right?
Yeah.
We all take chances, we all take risks, but unfortunately, like depending on your community or where you're from or your environment, those risks could lead to bigger, more dangerous consequences than somebody who's living in a certain area. I do think that the artists have to take a little more responsibility for what they say in their music. I think it's so important that they do that.
Oh, I totally agree with you. That is true. It kind of reminds me of this news kind of like interview that I saw with Dame Dash and from Dipset, Cameron, where they was just kind of going back and forth with the newscaster, where I feel like they both had great ideas. Like that's why it might seem like they both felt like they was right. One of the newscaster felt like they needed to take more responsibility of the news, while Dame Dash and Cameron felt like this was the way that they was taking responsibility because now they can make money and fund the school and fund the. I think it breaks the middle when it's like, yo, personally me, I'm getting to a point where I know I'm aware, and being aware just is like between good and bad. And it's like if you know that you're doing something, even if it's just to tangle that bad, like, oh, I'm doing this bad to do good. It's like you're still doing bad.
Right.
Like how do you deal with it when you're in a space of like, you wake up and you realize you're not in the best space?
I think for me, it's just about like I take my time when I feel like that. I don't move too fast. I take my time. I meditate in the morning. I make sure I just eat something also.
Yeah.
I think that we all have like good and bad days, and sometimes we wake up just in a bad mood. It might be because something happened the day before, it might be because you had a bad dream, maybe because of what's happening later on in the day. Like all these things play a part into how you feel when you wake up. But for me, what I do is I meditate. I just take my time really, and I make sure that I don't spread my energy to anybody else. But I feel like energy is very contagious. Right? I don't want to feel bad and now my family's feeling bad because I feel bad, or now you're feeling bad because I had a conversation with you. I don't like to spread that. So I like to just not keep it in, but kind of handle it within myself, and then feel like as the day goes on, I feel like it feels less and less and less until I feel better.
So that one thing that I've been having a little bit of like difficulty is like I have family and I have friends that I'm good. They tell me like, yo, whenever you gotta talk, like we could talk. Whenever you feeling like this, we could like call me, like like you talking about like I know some of us cry at night in the bed, but like if you feel like you wanna call, like call me. I don't know when am I like taking away that energy. Like am I being the guy who's calling and saying and draining that person? Or am I supposed to take more responsibility on myself? When I heard you answer like that, it was like, damn it, as a man, like I should take more strength and build something for like that. But then at the same time, I don't want to be that guy who's smiling in front of my family member and like knowing that I could talk to them, and I just don't because I feel like I don't want to drain them from the energy.
Yeah, I think it's really about finding like a safe space, and a safe space can be like, for me, it's just me being alone for a little bit in meditation. For you, it could be speaking to somebody else. Just know who you're speaking to. Understand that, like, once you're speaking to this person, you kind of tell how they're taking what you're saying to them, how they're taking it.
Yeah.
So if you feel like it's draining them, then that's a sign for you. Maybe this person is not right now ready to hear what I got to say to them or how I feel. Maybe another time, maybe another day. Or you can ask him, hey, listen, before you even start a conversation, hey, are you in the right mind? You know, are you in the right space in your mind where you can hear out what I got to talk to you about right now? Because I'm kind of going through something. It's always so important to ask that question to somebody, because a lot of times you do just throw stuff on people. You don't know if I might be going through something. Let's say you're going through something too, and now I'm throwing whatever I'm going through on top of your head when you're already going through something. So I think this is communicate. Like, you know, I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm going through something. How you feeling? Is it okay if I talk to you about it? And at that point, now, if you say okay, then you're taking that responsibility of taking whatever that I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? But always ask that question. It's so important because you don't know what the next person is also going through too.
Yeah. I like that, bro. Thank you for doing this, bro.
Of course, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
Keep doing your thing.
Hey, thank you, man.
I got the sauce. Ooh, I got the sauce. Ooh, I got the sauce. Looking in the mirror like,
looking in the mirror like